Welcome back. The National Retail Federation says Americans are cutting back on Halloween spending this year because of inflation.
Joining us live to explain more is financial strategist Bill Dendy. Good morning.
Good morning. And it's kind of funny. We take this holiday rather seriously, but people are finally cutting back a little bit on their Halloween spending.
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of our viewers, too, they're living paycheck to paycheck. And so even though, they're wanting to cut back and inflation has decreased, food and candy prices are still high.
Candy prices are extraordinarily high, especially if you're doing the chocolate bars, because the price of cocoa has gone up about 40% from where it was 3 years ago. And that's a pretty big increase. And that's due to global shortfalls because of flooding in Ghana, Africa, as well as some disease issues they've had in the cocoa industry. But kids don't care. They still want the chocolate bars. But we're probably going to give out the gummies this year. No, we're still giving out the chocolate bars. But a lot of people are turning to the gummies and other things because the cost of candy's gone up. The cost of costumes have gone up. And it can be overwhelming for a parent. I have an 11-year-old daughter who really wants to have all the decorations and the nicest costume and a nice Halloween party this year, and trying to fit all that together can be a challenge, especially when everything else is costing so much this year.
Exactly. I mean, those skeletons on everybody's lawn, I mean, they used to be $24.99 and now they're like $60 to $80 each.
Wow.
They're crazy.
Wow.
So talk to us a little bit about the upcoming election. Do you think that that's playing a role on people's spending decisions, or are Americans feeling economic uncertainty because of it? I mean, realistically, when they're talking about Halloween and holiday purchases?
Yes, I think that uncertainty across the board makes people feel a little bit more careful about how we spend our dollars. We want to be a little bit more strategic on what we're doing. And so I think it does have an impact. We start thinking a little more before we reach for the credit card, because we don't know a lot of things. And it's not just the politics here in the U.S., it's the global uncertainties that we're seeing right now. It makes people feel rather uncomfortable. And the job market uncertainties, because even though unemployment is low, the hiring rate fell to an all-time, to a 10-year low anyway, a week or so ago. And people who don't have jobs are taking longer to find that new job. And we hear these things, and it makes us just a little bit more cautious. And that little bit of caution is probably causing people to spend a little less this year for Halloween.
Well, talking about trying to be a little bit strategic this time of year, I mean, we're only 2 months away from the Christmas holiday. So what would be some suggestions for people who are trying to stick to a tighter budget going into the holiday season?
You're so right. And there's so many studies that show people overspend. Millennials in particular, 86% said they overspent last year the holiday season. And I know why. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement. And we want to do good for other people. We want to give great gifts, and we want to have fun, and we want to share that joy with other people. But if we're more strategic in the way we do it, we're able to do more and not be as stressed out. And so I think it's important to have that in mind as you go out and you start that shopping. Know what you want to do and plan for it. There's so much that can be saved by planning and avoiding the impulse purchases, looking at online as well as the brick and mortar stores, taking your time to make the purchases. I think that for those who spend strategically, they end up spending less, and they end up having a better experience throughout the holiday season. And it starts right here with what we're doing next week as it's costume time. Did we strategically plan that costume? Or are we going to be that person that runs out the last minute and has to purchase that last, not so good, but very expensive costume, or maybe severely discounted? That could be strategic too.
Yeah, right. Buy it this year after Halloween for next year, right? I mean, so I'm hearing you talk about, are you thinking that some of these reasons why people overspend are psychological or just a lack of control? I mean, when people know that they don't want to spend it.
Well, I think that it's both, and that people want to do good things. When I go out there and I look at the selection of candies on the shelf, I want to get the big full-size bar for those kids. When I end up doing Christmas shopping, I want to do something for everybody in the office. And if I think about it a little bit ahead of time, I can be very careful. I can get these things in bulk. I can do things in a smarter way. I can find the sales. But oftentimes it's not being strategic, it's being impulsive. And I think that becomes the challenge. And I believe that we do ourselves a disservice if we end up causing ourselves to be in debt for months after the holiday season, which unfortunately for many people, it seems to be the cycle. And if you have that debt and then anything else should set us back. The car needs repairs,
Yeah.
car housing, job displacement, any of that stuff, we're suddenly unable to manage. And we don't want to be in that situation because who knows what the economic environment's going to be 6 months or a year from now.
Well, that's true. A lot of times people are holding on to their money too in hopes of seeing a sale, seeing a deep discount, and we haven't really seen that very much recently. Is there any chance that retailers are going to offer bigger discounts closer to the holidays?
Yes, there is a great chance of that, but it's like a great big game of chicken between us and the retailers. We don't want to spend too soon because it may go down. They don't want to discount it too soon, or they may be giving up potential profit. And there is that crossover point where if the demand was not so great during the season, we get great deals by waiting. Of course, the risk is the deals don't ever come and the selection goes away. I think that people kind of mitigate that by doing minimum purchases, fallbacks, and again, planning, knowing what you want to do comparisons, and know the market of whatever you're going to purchase. I think that as well, those who are creative find that they can do a whole lot more by planning and spending their time, not their dollars, making the holiday season more special.
Exactly. All right, Bill Dendy. Yes, it's the thought that counts. Everybody says that, but then when it comes to getting something for everybody on your list, it goes out the window.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
God bless you. Always a pleasure.